Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Tom Worth Jr. and hope everyone's having a great day. Today I wanted to talk a little about some new polls, but also truth maybe seeping into Trump supporters despite their best intentions. I saw some Quinnipiac polls from Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Michigan should be Democrat. Wisconsin is actually tighter, and that's surprising. I would think Wisconsin would go for Harris. In the same way, actually have Harris up a tiny bit in North Carolina, which is surprising. Pennsylvania is obviously everything. And she's actually starting to pull away there, according to this poll. You can question any poll, and you should question any poll. This particular one is being conducted all the time, has been for years. And it's quite a bit better for her than the one they did right after Biden stepped down and it became her as the nominee. At that time, I think she was 1 point ahead in Pennsylvania, and maybe it was 2 or 3 points. I forget here. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, it looked like she was 3 points up in Pennsylvania at that time, and she's actually 6 points up right now, 51-45. Michigan 50-48 Harris, and Wisconsin 48-47 Harris. So really pulling away in Pennsylvania, and I think that's due to a number of factors. We'll get into what else the polls asked in a minute, because I think that's more interesting, specific issues and where she's ahead and where Trump is ahead. But overall, she's ahead in Pennsylvania. If she gets Pennsylvania, this thing is over. Okay, let's just get into that real quick. Sorry. The economy. She's actually almost neck and neck with him on the economy, 50-48 Trump in Pennsylvania. And I'm only going to talk about the Pennsylvania numbers here because that's what matters. He's ahead 50-48 on the economy, which is shockingly close. Immigration, 50-46, Trump's ahead. And preserving democracy in the United States, which kind of my whole thing is, that's the issue. Preserving, why people would say 52-45. I mean, the fact that we are even questioning preserving democracy in the United States is 100% Trump. That's why I started this channel, as some of you know, lifelong Republican against Trump. There's so many things, but preserving democracy in the United States itself. And abortion, she destroys him on 57-38%. And then a crisis that can put the country at great risk, she actually beats him on that, 49-47. So the fact that he is slightly ahead on the economy and on immigration, but really the economy, and she is way ahead on other things, it kind of tells you that people are, even though they're putting him slightly ahead on the economy, they are still putting her way ahead, 51-45 overall in Pennsylvania. And I believe that is because the lies about the runaway inflation, trying to pin that all on Harris and Biden. I mean, obviously these people see that and believe that, but the fact is it doesn't exist anymore. This inflation, it's slowed down to absolutely normal rates over the past several months. And with the Fed rate cut yesterday, that story was everywhere. It's hard to escape. If you actually watch any news, you'll probably have seen something about the rate cut. That will impact people's lives, especially if they're looking at a home or an automobile, but really interest rates on credit cards, and interest rates affect everything. So that's something that is big news, and you can't have that headline without the accompanying because inflation is back to normal now. Inflation is totally under control now, and you can't escape that fact. If you buy anything, so like almost anyone, probably not Donald Trump himself, but if you buy anything, you know that prices stopped going up a while ago. And even some of the gouging, like in eggs and milk, that in the post-COVID supply chain gouging that continued, maybe it was due to, a poultry thing or something, a bird thing where they had to kill millions of chickens, something like that, I don't remember. Even those prices are back to, not as low as they were, but to normal levels. So everybody in their daily, you can keep trying to hammer inflation if you are a Republican, and they do. But the reality is, it's not there, and this is what I mean by the truth can seep in even to Trump voters, even if they're watching Fox News or Newsmax or whatever they're watching all day. Your daily life tells you some reality, your lived experience. And I also got a dose of this about immigration. I was somewhere last night, and I, against my will, had to take in some Newsmax. It was on at someone's house, and I was doing my best to ignore it. It was just on a big TV in the background, but we were talking about other things. But it's hard not to glance over it and see just the staggering misinformation that is being broadcast to them. And this is also what I'm talking about with the truth can seep in even to Trump voters, even on Newsmax, because there was a hearing about the border, and the ticker along the bottom was talking about, just all the horrible things that Biden and Harris border immigration, blah, 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 are resulting in. But then you had someone at the hearing, people holding up big signs, kind of countering the lies of whatever speaker was talking or whatever. So if you were watching Newsmax, you were seeing what was on those signs. Now, you probably aren't believing what's on those signs. You're believing the crawler, obviously. But what it might do, and I think this does happen, it happens with me, I know. In my comments, if I see, like really every comment that I see, and I think I see everyone, it makes you think just for a second. It can make you what question or wonder, not in a doubtful way, but just make you reassess why you believe what you believe, why you think what you think. It should, anyway. If the commenter is saying, the comment is these are pretty funny sometimes. Just outright, Trump is not a felon. Trump always tells the truth. Biden and Harris are criminals. Okay, that's not making you consider anything. But if someone's throwing something out there, if I do reply, I don't reply to a lot of those, but every now and then I will. But I have to consider a thoughtful reply, and I have to consider why I think something different than what they are saying. And most often it's just obvious fact, truth, but sometimes it's just a perspective or a different way of looking at things. So I'm pretty in touch with what I think and believe. So you have their mindless regurgitation of talking points. That's just comic relief. But some people do actually go back and themselves and look at facts. Maybe based on something I say, but also in the news cycle. So you have some swing states, and there's only one swing state that's on the southern border. That's Arizona. The rest of them aren't. And this is an issue immigration. This is an issue where I just think, and I think they're doing this, the less it comes up, the better for Kamala Harris. I don't think it's an issue that she will win on. I think she can draw even. I think you can make the case for a stalemate, but I don't think, unlike the economy, I don't think you can actually make the case that they're actually going to win and pull people over because of their treatment of immigration. There's one caveat to that belief, and that is if you are playing the empathy card or the humanity card, yes, you are absolutely winning with Kamala Harris. But I think all of those people that have the empathy or any interest in human decency, how we treat other people other than ourselves, how we look at people, I think she already has those people. So I don't think she's pulling people over based on that. I think those people already are against Trump. I put myself firmly in that camp. They've already got them. So anyone else who is still backing Trump or quote undecided, they're not. They're not coming to her for that reason, for immigration. But what they can do is what Trump people can do, and this is what he's trying to do. This is how he's trying to pull the immigration into a national issue in the swing states, because immigration isn't an issue in Pennsylvania. It's not an issue in Michigan. They're not worried about the Canadian border or Wisconsin. So there is the Haitian immigrant community in refugees, whatever. They're there in Ohio, and this is where we get the eating cats and dogs story from, because Trump is trying to terrify people who are around the state of Ohio. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. If you can convince these swing state people that don't have an immigration issue, don't have a border issue, that they're still in mortal grave danger from Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, that's what he's trying to do. That's why they won't leave it alone, no matter how often it's debunked. So what these voters can say is, these Trump voters or these undecideds, they can go out and they can look and they can go, yeah, Haitians eating dogs and cats. But the Republican governor of Ohio himself has debunked this and said that there's no evidence of anything that has been reported. So these they can't escape that truth as well. So this is why I say truth matters even to some Trump voters, because they can't live their lives in total avoidance of it. No matter how hard some of them may try, they can't do it. Some of that truth has to seep in, and I think it is. And my proof of that is Kamala Harris pulling ahead in Pennsylvania. 6-point lead, 51-45. That's huge. She's not going to win by 6%, I don't think. She might win by 2 or 3% maybe. That's what Trump did last time. He underpolls, as we all know. But you get a 6-point lead heading into it, then I think she's pretty much got that sewn up. More importantly is that gap is growing each poll and in each of these swing states. The one I'm not so sure about is North Carolina. She's a little bit behind in Georgia, by the way. I saw somewhere she's a point up in North Carolina. I don't know. I know you have a lot of educated people moving to places like Charlotte, and there's good job markets there, and that's going to help her out. I've spent some time in North Carolina. I don't know. It's been a while. Maybe it's changed. I didn't ever view North Carolina as as really a potential Democrat state, but she is a point ahead there, so that's a possibility. I guess what I want to get across today is that the Newsmax and the Fox News is not going to stop. Donald Trump hammering on things that we all think is crazy is not going to stop, but his instincts are usually pretty good. So he doesn't care that he's a laughing stock about the dog eating thing. He doesn't care. He knows, where he thinks he knows, that people will believe him, that enough people will believe him. But I think it's the other thing that gives me encouragement. I think he's already got all those people. So he's going back to 2016. This is what he does. He always looks backwards, not forwards. He's going back and saying what worked then. Where did I pull all these crazy nuts into my camp before? Well, 8 years later, he already has all those people. He already lost with those people in 2020. And we've had 4 more years of lunacy on his part. And I just think that to our advantage, he is, remember, this is the man who doesn't ever learn from anything. He's not learning and he's not evolving. And Kamala Harris is. That's why she's not talking about immigration. That's why she's not talking about border security. He's talking about also a tax cut in Long Island yesterday, rolling back a cap on a tax, and he's just not. He's just fighting the battles that he doesn't have any people to gain there. So that's about it for today. Hope everyone's doing all right, and we'll talk tomorrow.